Yo, what's up, everybody, and welcome to the ADHD Gamer, episode number 22. God, I keep getting this mixed up. Episode number 22, right?
Yeah.
Is it 22? Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'm freaking dyslexic. As always, I'm Mike McMahon, joined by Mr. Jonathan Franklin.
What's up, ADHD gamers?
And our intern keeps coming back, Mr. Adam Hammis. Adam, how are you?
Doing well, sir. Hey, fun fact, the mixing up of numbers is pneumolexic, not dyslexic.
So dyslexic with numbers.
Yes, it's pneumolexic.
I don't feel like that was a fun fact. I feel like you were just trying to prove me wrong. I really don't think that was a fun fact. Cool. I'm still going to call it dyslexic because I am dyslexic.
It was a fact. Wasn't very fun, but...
I'm still going to call that dyslexic because I know that I am dyslexic. I am also dyslexic when it comes to words, or not words, but letters, spelling. So,
those big words get you all the time, huh?
Big words do get me actually a pretty solid amount. Big words get me a lot. I usually have to listen to so many podcasts. I usually hear people like when they say a name or a big word, they have to stop and like blue, and they gotta like they gotta sound it out while you're saying it. That's kind of I talk like that literally in real life off camera. Like I have to do it like that. That's just kind of how I have to. So, guys, if you didn't know, this is the ADHD Gamer. You can find us on all audio podcast listening services. Mainly, I've actually added a couple more. I forgot what they are, but you can go check them out. If you're there, I'm sure you'll see us. I honestly forgot which every single one of them are. We had to change some hosting this week. So if I had to change some hosting this week because after this show, we are going to record another show, which I'll plug that in the end for us. Which we're pretty excited about that. But guys, you can find us on YouTube. We're still trying to get subscribers. I'm not actually sure how many we have now. Adam, can you get me a subscriber check, please? I think we had 16 the last time I checked, which is a couple more up, so I'm okay with that. Facebook.com/ADHD Gamer. You can find us there. Guys, just trying to plug everything, but yeah, that's pretty much where we are. Like I said, if the audio stuff's not working for you guys, give it a little bit of time. We did just change hosting services over.
We are up to 20 subs.
What? Okay, I'll take that. I'll take that. Awesome, good job, guys. Thank you very much for that. We really appreciate that. Yeah, really. Thank you, Denmark. I know your buddy. You're probably the only one that actually probably watches all the way through, from what I can see from analytics. And I want to tell you that we really appreciate you, and I understand that we're probably screwing you over by not doing video this week. I'm sorry, but hopefully you can hear us, and hopefully you just play a game when you listen to us. That would be wonderful because that's mainly what a lot of people do. Gentlemen, let's go ahead and hop into real quick what we're playing. John, what do you want to talk a little bit about what you're playing? Go ahead first, man.
I've been playing a lot of different games. Been playing Control like I talked about last week, and I immediately dropped that for Jedi Fallen Order, and I am having a blast with it as a big giant Star Wars nerd. It's hitting all the right buttons for me. So
you're never going to go back to Control,
huh?
You're never going to go back to Control.
I will. Absolutely. As soon as I finish Jedi Fallen Order, I'm going straight back to Control. But Jedi Fallen Order has to be finished.
Yes, yeah, I agree. Adam?
Pokemon Sword.
Pokemon Sword.
Are you enjoying it?
So far, yeah. I'm not very far into it. I downloaded it, and I put in a couple hours last night getting through kind of the tutorial main area missions. And then I got to the first... wild area, which is their kind of like let's go mashup, and that is very interesting because you run into the let's go style of Pokemon to where they're like walking around in the overworld, and if they are not in a grassy area, they are like so far double what my main Pokemon's level is. So first wild area, an hour into the game, I'm already running into level 25 Pokemon. So
awesome.
It's interesting.
That's cool.
What about you, buddy?
Adam, are you finished?
Yes. Sorry.
Okay. I'm playing also Jedi Fallen Order. I started this morning, and I've put in about 4 hours and fully feeling like I have fully enjoyed every single bit of it so far. With a downside of the goddamn sliding is horrible. The sliding mechanic, the ice sliding mechanic is horrible. I don't feel like you can control yourself very well. It is very hard to control yourself, especially when you're coming off of like I forgot what planet am I on? Whatever the first planet the tomb was on that I went to. I think it was Zepho, I believe. And going on the ice and going to jump on a rope, I probably died 20 times just trying just in one try, just because of trying to come off the ice and jump at the last second and control with the stick, and it was rough. It was the sliding I don't like, but everything else I love. Combat I love, skills I love, force I love. I just got push, so I'm going to be able to go back and do some things that I didn't do, which I could see a lot of Metroidvania in that. I see a lot of Tomb Raider in the tombs. I see a lot of God of War because of being able to find you're being able to find what's it called, skill, or not skill points, but you get so Adam, to explain this to you, because you're not playing, you get health, so you can increase. I'm not sure if you ever played the old God of Wars or God of War, the new one, but you remember how Jonathan don't know what I'm talking about. That's the only reason I'm talking to you. So you remember how back then you could, in God of War, if you found 3 certain chests, you would be able to increase a point of health.
Yes.
Or 3 certain chests increase a point of rage.
Yep.
This, excuse me, in this, if you find 3 of these chests, you increase your force or you increase your life. So that's what it's got. So many throwbacks to so many different wonderful games. Just it takes a little bit out of every big game and puts it in there. And it's lovely. I'm also still playing Outer Worlds because I can't fucking finish that shit because I keep doing every single thing in the game, which I'm gonna probably do a 60-hour playthrough of that game. I already know it, and which is fine. And then I just started Pokemon Shield last night. I started. I'm about 3 hours in, maybe it's 2.5, 3 in. I have not hit the wild area yet because I was doing the tutorial stuff and all that kind of good stuff. It's going to be my night game, so I'm going to play that at night most likely, because it's a fun little experience. I'm really enjoying it. Yeah, playing that, and I just actually, a friend of mine who actually works in this wonderful industry that we talk about, sent me a code that he got because he reviews games. He reviews games, so he gets review codes all the time, and he sent me a review code for Terminator Retribution. Is that the one that's Terminator Resistance, the new one that just came out, the FPS. So I'm gonna play it. Like I said last week, I've never seen a Terminator, so I'm gonna play it and then maybe watch some movies and check it out and see how it is.
Cool. One thing about Jedi Fallen Order, I like and I hate is the what is it called? The meditation points.
Yeah,
If you die, you get shot all the way back there, and it can be a long trek to get to where you need to be again. And
it's wherever you last.
Old hard games from
it's kind of
Sega Genesis and shit.
It's kind of wherever you last meditated, kind of thing.
Right.
Like if you meditated 200 yards back, and you die, then you get shot back there. There's no. The thing I do like, I hate that though. I do hate that. I agree. Yeah, well, it is to an extent. Yeah, I mean they do. I mean, but here's the thing. You know how in Dark Souls and Sekiro, when you would go to that, it would automatically spawn all the enemies. This, you have a choice. This, you have a rest choice. It's called rest. So if you rest, it restores your health, it restores your force, it restores all your stim packs, and then also revives enemies, or respawns enemies. But if you just go to a meditation point, you can do your skill points and leave there, and it will not respawn all the enemies. So if you have
Sekiro did that, didn't it?
Sekiro, I believe. I don't know. I
something without respawning enemies.
Maybe I played very minor at that game because I was getting my ass pure tore up in it.
I'm starting to think that these meditation points it's not actually the last one you do, because I started to think that in the beginning when I first played the first planet, but it's actually the closest one that you have, because I've been shot around, so it's once you've unlocked all these meditation points, it'll just shoot you over the closest one, which is helpful because I started doing that on Dathomir since I went to Dathomir.
Did you go to Dathomir first?
No, I went to Zepho first.
I went to Zepho first. Are you playing on Jedi Knight, Jedi Master?
Jedi Master. No, Jedi Knight.
You're playing on
the middle
Jedi.
one.
Jedi Knight is Jedi Knight is normal. Jedi Master's hard.
Yeah,
okay.
Jedi Knight.
Yeah, Jedi Master's rough.
Is there a Padawan level for me?
There is actually a story mode which I like. There is usually this only gets added into usually into PlayStation exclusives, to where you got like I always hear what's good games call it baby ass baby mode, to where it's easy, it's super easy mode where you're just there for the story, and I'm not gonna lie, there's one of the boss battles I kicked it down right into easy because it was kicking my ass so bad, because I don't like Dark Souls combat. I don't like the fact that I don't like the parrying. I'm not good at that. I'm not good at the parrying. I'm not good at the rolling. But it's been fun. And most of the time I've kicked it down one time, just one single time. The rest of it I've played fully on Jedi Knight, and I love it, man. It's a blast. It's a really fun game, man. Yeah, I can't wait to beat that. I should have that beat this week because I'm gonna push my ass because I love that game.
This doesn't sound right. It says Jedi Knight is the baby one, the story
No, I
level
think
one,
no,
and
no, I
Jedi
think
Master and then Grandmaster. I don't think that's right.
no,
That's what it says online.
no. Hold on.
I'm like,
no,
no, that's
'cause
not it.
Jedi Knight is.
I want to say it was like, it's not Padawan, but it was the step above Padawan.
You got okay, so the difficulty options, there's 4. You got story, which is the very easy one that I was saying, Adam. You have Jedi Knight, which is regular, Jedi Master hard, and Jedi Grandmaster, which is like extra hard.
That must happen after you beat the game, because
Yeah,
it's not option.
you must what, Jedi Grandmaster?
Yeah, for the Grandmaster is what I'm saying.
I think Grandmaster, you can choose Grandmaster from the very beginning, I believe.
Because I only saw 3.
I remember is there 3? I remember there being 4 options. I thought
Some
maybe
games
I'm
do that, like
yeah. If you beat a game, then it gives you that last, or it gives you another game mode, or another what you call it. Yeah. All right, gentlemen. Well, let's hop into the news.
Move on from that.
Well, I mean, the game's fun. I mean, there ain't much more to say about it besides it's a blast. You should go buy it. And I've seen people talking about how you pay full price. Well, yeah, you should pay full price for it. I mean, the game's the game. I mean, yeah, you're gonna get a sale on it in a couple months, probably knowing EA. But I mean, the game is fully worth $60. I mean, it really is. Respawn's
Especially
done.
the talent that they used in this game. Like, there's tons of good talent for voice acting and cinematics and everything.
Cameron Monaghan does a wonderful job as Cal. People say they don't like him. I think he does a wonderful job as Cal.
I mean, he's an ugly ginger, but I don't care.
Oh yeah, he is. The dude, I didn't like him as what they were calling as Joker in Gotham, but I mean, he's not bad here. He's not doing horrible. People say he's boring, but it's kind of hard to hide stuff when you're getting scanned into a game and you're doing, it's kind of hard to see that behind animation. All right, gentlemen, let's hop into the news. This week we got a couple good stories here. Not much. We got XO19 to talk about here later, but that's probably pretty much the big stuff that's dropped. This week a Sonic redesign dropped. The Sonic redesign of the original. Guys, I put a little picture here in the show notes to show you guys in case you didn't remember what it looked like.
It's hard not to remember that abortion.
The new Sonic trailer dropped, and it looked it does not look like they did a model swap. It actually looks like they did a full-fledged redo of a bunch of stuff. And I fully enjoyed that trailer. I think that trailer was great. That was I was a person that, I don't want to say defended the original trailer, because the original trailer wasn't, I don't think the original trailer was horrible. I think the original design was subpar, less par. I don't think the trailer was horrible. I was always saying, and I still say, live action movies are going to be weird. I don't know what to tell people. It's it's got to be weird. I mean, look at Lion King. Lion King was super weird seeing all that CG. I mean, and it's supposed to be a live action movie, so it's kind of the thing. So I mean, I think this is great. It looked good. They definitely were aiming at kids, but it looked wonderful. I'm actually at first I was like, kind of don't want to go watch this in theaters, but now I'm like, maybe I'll take the kids. So it does look better than it did.
I was really surprised to see Jim Carrey kind of cutting up and somewhat back to his old self.
Yeah, there's things in that trailer that crack me up because I really think because they're calling Jim Carrey Dr. Robotnik in the movie. I really think they're going to do something like a parody towards calling him Eggman in the movie. So maybe they'll give him a blow up suit or something, and he'll be fat somehow, and they'll call him Eggman. They have to. And then there's also a nod in the trailer if you watch where Sonic's wearing an orange shirt. And then he says something about on my planet they call me blah, 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 something, and he says something about Knuckles or Tails, and I'm like, oh, okay, well I got a feeling Tails is going to come up or Knuckles is going to come up in this movie. They're going to end up making another one, and that's where it's going to introduce.
Yeah.
I'm really hoping the ending credit scene is Sonic looking at the new Sonic looking in the mirror and seeing the old remake Sonic or the old Sonic before the remake and being like, "Who the fuck are you?" I really hope that's what we get to with that.
I really like to see the warp ring in there where he jumps through it. That was a really cool part of the trailer.
I did like that part. I also like the sound effects they used. I like the rings. I like the old music they put in there. I thoroughly enjoyed that. I thought it was good. Gangster's Paradise was cool in the beginning, in the first one, but I thought it was cool they were using some older music, older sound effects.
Sure.
Gentlemen, I'm not going to jump to the longer one here. I'm going to jump to these other smaller ones first, and then we'll jump to the two bigger ones.
Okay.
I'm just going to talk about this real quick. This, as Jonathan would say, abortion of a movie. Mark Wahlberg cast as Sully in the Uncharted movie. They need to. I posted this the other day, and I will stand by and argue with any of you motherfuckers that really wants to argue. Not talking about you two, but I'm talking about our audience. So at me, go ahead. This movie's gonna be horrible. It's been through 5 directors. Talking about the Uncharted movie, it's been through 5 directors at this point. They're on their 5th director. You got Tom Holland playing Tiny Drake, and then you got Mark Wahlberg now. Solely Mark Wahlberg's not that old, so yeah. I mean, he is old, but he doesn't look old. He doesn't look like Sully did in the games. Which I mean, they're saying, and now they are saying this is a beforehand, so this is a prequel, so say, where it's a younger Drake with Tom Holland. It has to be. I don't understand this whole concept of this movie. PlayStation they now have their own dedicated movie studio to where they're going to be taking over their IPs. So I'm hoping that this gets picked up and they do something better with it, is what I'm hoping.
I've never played any of the Uncharted games, so I can't really speak
probably some of the best
intelligently on the designs, but from what the few things I've like game movies I watched or whatever, he has Tom Holland, even a young Drake, just doesn't seem like it fits.
Even Mark Wahlberg, as soon as I saw that with Sully written underneath it, my eyebrow just cocked up because I was
Drake.
Like, that didn't sound right.
Nathan Drake, since you never played the games, I'll explain. So he's a very funny, weird individual, and Tom Holland can do that. I mean, he's played Peter Parker. I mean, Peter Parker's a very comical asshole, which he's probably, to me, he's better than I loved Andrew Garfield as Peter Parker, which people hated, but I like Tom Holland in the Spider-Man role, and I think he'll do okay. I just don't like the prequel part. Because they've already ended Drake's story with Uncharted 4, which was probably, people say 2 is the best in the series. That one made me want to throw my controller the most. So I would say 4 to me is the best in the series. I loved it. But I don't know, man. I'm not feeling this. Like it's weird. Like I was all about Assassin's Creed when they dropped that, and Fassbender was in it. Was it Fassbender? Yeah, it was Fassbender. Yep. Fassbender was in it, and it was looking good, and people hated it, and I loved it because people don't understand that a lot of Assassin's Creed is a lot of talking. Like it's a lot of talking to people. It's a lot of lore. It's a lot, which they did I think they did wonderful in that aspect. My brother loved it. My brother hates that shit. So it
was a good Assassin's Creed was a good one.
There are good video game movies. I mean, but you do have the ones that suck, but you always have to watch. Like, if I have to remind you, Super Mario Brothers came out in 93, 94, I think, originally, and that movie was the Goomba, the big ass Goomba in there, maybe Jesus, like I think it was terrifying.
FYI, I loved that movie as a kid.
I hated it. I mean, I let's put it like this. I watched it a bunch as a kid, and then I realized how bad it was when I got older. And now I just watch it just to watch it. I mean, it's still a bad movie, but I love it. Like you can say a movie's bad and love it. I know that movie's bad, but I love that movie.
Did you guys see the Tomb Raider movie?
The new one?
Yeah.
No.
No, but
I didn't see it either, so I didn't.
They're supposed to be rebooting it with the same chick. Because she's also the one that's in the games. She's the one that's in the games as well.
I heard it was good.
Yeah, I heard nothing but good things about the new Tomb Raider. So what to see? I really do want to rewatch it.
From the trailers I saw, it kind of made me feel like it was a shot-for-shot remake of the first game.
It probably is. I mean, you got to think about where it comes from, though. I mean, I'm gonna say a really bad thing here that people are probably gonna hate on me. Which you can also at me. I'm okay. I'll argue with this. Angelina Jolie was a horrible Lara Croft.
Fucking A.
You can say
right?
what you want. Say whatever you want to say. The sex appeal was there. Yes, it was there. Sex appeal was great because that's what Lara Croft was back in the day. Was sex appeal when you could show those little pointy boobs. That was sex appeal.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what she was there to portray. But they were bad movies. They were really bad. This chick is like, and now don't get me wrong. Also, technology was different back then. But yeah, so I don't know. We'll see. But we'll see how that goes. They're supposed to be rebooting it and making a new one. Gentlemen, I'm going to move on here. Human Head Studios closes and then reopened as Roadhouse Studios under Bethesda, all in pretty much the same day. So Human Head Studios this week dropped Rune 2. So they dropped Rune 2. If you don't know who Human Head is the original creators of Prey. Back in the day, they had worked with Bethesda on Prey 2 after Prey came out, and then they went through a massive legal dispute with Bethesda, which makes this story really weird and really ironic. They went through a massive dispute with Bethesda, and Prey 2 never was made, and then Prey, the reboot, was made by Arcane, which actually was pretty good. I'm hoping
about it.
I think it was okay. I don't think it was horrible.
I don't think it was a bad game. I'm just bitter that the great lore that they had set up originally it wasn't used. But we've talked about that before, so we'll skip on.
Yeah, well, I mean, you also had two different studios doing that at that point. You don't have the creators you got now. But now, if they do want to make Prey 2 with Arcane and they bring Roundhouse in, because supposedly 90% of Human Head Studios is now Roundhouse. So if they want to bring them there, then have them create Prey 2. That would be now you get the lore people back. Now you get the people in there that the original writers and stuff of that nature. So that might be something. So we'll see where that goes. We'll see what they do under Bethesda. Gentlemen, Disney Plus has dropped this week, and it has taken the world by storm. 10 million downloads in its first day. Millions of subscribers already. I've stated it before and I will state it again, and it will probably be less than what I said. Disney will buy Netflix. Netflix has dropped off. I can already tell Netflix has dropped off people's radar, especially with my generation, because of things that are on here like Boy Meets World, Smart Guy, things of that nature. Those are all stuff that I grew up with and my generation grew up with. So those are things that people want to go back to, things like Gargoyles. I'm able to go back and watch Star Wars: The Clone Wars and Star Wars Rebels and all that good stuff now.
Not all of the Clone Wars, though.
There are 6 seasons of it.
Yeah, but the Netflix, did they get the ones from Netflix that Netflix did? Or Cartoon Network? Fuck, which one was it?
No, I think it was
No.
I think Netflix did it. And if they didn't, I can just go on Netflix and watch it.
Yeah.
I don't think they can pull that. I don't think they can pull that from Netflix if Netflix owns that property.
No, I don't think so either.
So you can say I can just go back and watch that. I know they did. I thought they only did 6 or 7 seasons. I don't know. I'll have to check that. It's a good thought.
6 seasons.
6 seasons. Thank you. So yes, all 6 seasons are on Disney Plus then, because I noticed there's 6 on there of Clone Wars. Yeah, of Clone Wars. Yeah. So far I'm liking it. Of course, The Mandalorian. But I have a friend of mine that I worked with at Lowe's that is in the new Lady and the Tramp, so that was pretty cool to see.
Mm-hmm. That was awful, in my opinion.
What, Lady and Tramp?
Yeah, was not good.
You just need to stop watching live action movies because you expect way too much out of them. You were one of these people that yes, dude. Every time we talk about a live action movie, you always say they're bad.
Which ones? We just got done talking about a few of them, the video game ones.
Aladdin.
I did not see Aladdin.
Yes, you did. You
No,
said
I
it was
loved
bad.
I really liked Aladdin. The only part I
Aladdin.
did not like about Aladdin was the weird placement of that song, the woman empowerment song, where it just kind of blurred out. But Lion King, I loved Lion King. I just didn't like I didn't like that some of the singing in it with what was his name? Who played Seth Rogen? I didn't think Seth Rogen was a good choice for Pumbaa. But
I disagree with
overall,
that.
I enjoyed it. Well,
I
the only problem I have with Seth Rogen is that he couldn't sing.
No, he can't sing.
Yeah,
No, he
that
can't.
was
He
that
can't.
was my problem with it.
He can't sing, but he can bring the comedy. But
For sure.
I didn't think Lady and Tramp was that bad. I honestly didn't think it was that bad. I mean, it wasn't great, but I mean, it was definitely and let's put it like this: my kids like it. I really don't care what anybody else has to say. That's all that matters to me. As long as they get to watch it and they enjoy it. I didn't think it was horrible. I'd watch it again. My buddy Jamie's in there somewhere. I don't know. So shout out Jamie Martinez. Jamie's in there somewhere. I don't know where he's at.
We've been
The only
watching
thing
it all week too. It's
It's the only thing I don't like about it is they don't have a continue watching feature. That's the only thing I don't
Yeah.
like, because since I'm watching the Clone Wars, I always have to go back. I always have to go like 4 or 5 screens to go into the Clone Wars, and then remember what episode I was on, then go down and do it. So I hope they're going to add that continue watching stuff here pretty soon.
yeah, you just don't have a placeholder at all.
Yeah, it doesn't.
You just
So
restart the whole fucking thing. I
Yeah,
don't think it's going to take over Netflix, by the way. Netflix is Disney's. This is almost seems like it's its own thing, and Netflix is definitely a powerhouse. And just because it's the first week doesn't mean everybody's going to drop Netflix off.
When the nostalgia wears off, people will go back to their respective.
you can
Right now,
you gentlemen can say whatever you feel like. I'm telling you right now, they're going to buy Netflix in 2 years. I'm telling you.
But I don't
They
think
might buy it,
Netflix
but they
is
may
not going to lose
change it.
steam at all.
I'm not telling you they're going to change it. What I told you is the same thing that I posted on Facebook, is that they're going to buy the fucking thing.
Right. No,
I'm telling you, they're going to buy
I'm
it.
saying that Netflix isn't going to lose steam over Disney Plus. I don't think that's going to be the case.
I'm telling you, Netflix is building up their fucking their not their money, but their building up their with all these big names, like what's the names, Stranger Things, Witcher, what's the other shows? I think all Eddie Murphy's movies are coming out on there now. Eddie Murphy, actually, Beverly Hills Cop 4, or whatever Beverly Hills new movies, whatever Beverly Hills Cop movies coming out that he's remaking is coming out there. I don't know what was the new movie he just came out, whatever Eddie Murphy came out with, but I'm telling you, I think they're building that shit up. Disney's not going to let people just overrun them at this point. I really don't. Disney's going to take over this world. Y'all can everybody can take what they want to. Disney's going to take over this fucking world. Look at them. They're buying things. They're buying a couple of years ago, and they bought Marvel, then they bought Star Wars, and they bought, the two biggest properties in the world. Star Wars being the biggest. Star Wars is probably the biggest property in the world at one point in time, if not, and now it's even bigger. So with new kids getting into it, I really do think they're going to buy Netflix out. Netflix was the first to do it. I just think that, I guess
I don't think they were. Well, maybe they were.
They were hold on. They were the first people to do it good. And
Do it the way they did it.
Yes. They were the first. They were the first people to do it well. And I mean, the only reason that Disney Plus probably exists, and the reason that Hulu probably exists, is because of Netflix.
100%.
Netflix paved the way, if you will.
Mm-hmm. Netflix is still a powerhouse.
Oh yeah. There's no putting that down. I mean, they're probably still over toppling by numbers. I mean, numbers wise, there's probably still way more people watching Netflix every day, especially when you can nowadays, like if you go to T-Mobile, like me and my parents have, and get a plan, you can get it for free forever. So, I mean, like, as long as I'm on this plan, T-Mobile pays for Netflix. So I've got Netflix, and yeah, I continue to use it. I mean, the only thing I've always hated is they just don't have an anime category that's really all that great. Right. But I mean, everything else is. Yeah, Hulu does. Yeah, and we have Hulu as well. And my mother-in-law pays for Hulu Live. Is it Hulu? Yeah, Hulu Live. Yeah, their TV, and she gets all that, and it's pretty good. It's actually not bad. I actually enjoy that. Adam, what were you saying?
Side note: Season 7 of the Clone Wars gets released February 2nd of 2020. So 2020, lots of twos going on there.
That means there was a licensing thing or something going on. I bet they licensed that through Netflix for that amount of time. I bet they were working on Disney Plus when that dropped. I bet they've been working on Disney Plus for a while. I bet it's been a yeah. I bet it's been a thing. I bet it's been a thing. I think it's
The
great.
amount of content they had, they had to be 100%.
Yeah. And I mean them pulling it off of everything, and I mean you hear stuff all around that it's not working on certain devices, and it's very slow. But once again, you got a bunch of people who don't play video games that don't understand. If you got 50 million people trying to get on the servers at the same time, of course everything's going to be slow. Yeah. So I mean, give it time. I think it's great. Especially if you have kids. If you have kids, it's kind of a you need to have it. You should have it
for sure.
So I'm going to move on to this next story, which we have two more big stories here. The next story is the Google Stadia launch lineup. So Google Stadia launches in 3 days on November 19th. So they are launching with a whopping 12 games, one of which is about all that anybody probably is going to care about that nobody's ever played before.
Samurai Showdown.
Yeah. No, it's guilt, buddy. So they're launching. Well, Samurai Showdown will be good because it's a fighter, so it'll be good to check latency, along with Mortal Kombat 11. So it'll be good to check latency on those kind of things. So you got Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Destiny 2, the collection, obviously. Guilt, which is their Stadia exclusive made by Tequila Works. Just Dance 2020, Kine, Mortal Kombat 11. Red Dead Redemption 2, Samurai Showdown, Tomb Raider Definitive Edition, Rise of the Tomb Raider, Shadow of the Tomb Raider Definitive Edition, and Thumper. So this will basically be, if you need to catch up on any Tomb Raiders, like I do, you can basically go play them. And supposedly they say they're going to be competitively priced with things like Steam and any other kind of, I guess, store, should I say. So it's also not going to drop with a bunch of features. So before I say these features, this thing they definitely should have put this into an early access or a beta. Because if they would have done all this and said, hey, it's a beta, you guys knew what you were getting, everything would have been okay. But after reading some of this, I'm just going to read pretty much almost this whole article from Matthew Handrahan at gamesindustry.biz. It says representatives from Google have confirmed that Stadia will launch without a host of expected features, including achievements, family sharing, 4K streaming, and the Buddy Pass.
Wasn't the Buddy Pass like one of their big selling points?
Yeah.
Yes, and how it's going to work is pretty much, so if you ordered one, so let's say I ordered one, I'm going to get my equipment, they're going to send me the Buddy Passes in a month. Basically is how that's going to work. Is from what I heard. The update was provided via a long and detailed Reddit AMA with Google's Andrei Doronichev and Barry Lee responding to user questions. One key feature that will not be available when the service launches on November 19th is family sharing, which Doronichev talked about in another AMA back in July. Adding the feature was described as high priority for Google, but early adopters will have to buy games separately for a child's account until sometime next year. So basically, you won't be able to family share until next year. Achievements will also not be ready next week, Google said. Players will be able to earn them immediately, so you'll be earning them, but the UI, pretty much how Xbox does with their achievement unlocked, that's not going to be there. But the platform UI that allows achievement notifications and viewing will be following shortly after launch. I guess that's going to be before the end of the year. The last major feature that Google said won't be ready is 4K streaming for PC. On November 19th, the only device that will support 4K streaming is Chromecast Ultra. Based on the feedback from buyers of the Founders Edition, that 4K TV must be our top priorities. Support for 4K streaming on PC will follow in 2020. So here's the thing. There's a couple more things. The main thing is about a month ago, we found out the controller will not be wireless with everything. We found out that the controller will only be wireless with the Chromecast Ultra that you get. So it's not going to be wireless with your phone, not going to be wireless with your PC. You still have to use a USB-C to plug into your PC or to everything else.
You mean they're
I
holding features so that we have to buy a Google product? Huh.
mean, what Google product?
Isn't the Chrome Ultra a Google product?
Yeah, but you only have to buy it for now. I guess it's going to come eventually. But there's also the thing of, let's say you own a Chromecast Ultra right now, and let's say you were excited about this and you're going to get it. It won't work. The only Chromecast Ultras that will work are the Chromecast Ultras that is shipping with. So the ones that it's shipping with, and also the newer ones that are coming out today. So are you having problems,
Who? Me?
Adam?
No,
I mean, he's
it
trying to-
looks like it in my video, but no, I'm
You
good.
look like you're having issues. Jeez.
I can't even see him, but I'm over here rolling my fucking eyes about this.
So I mean, it's Adam. Are you still not showing up for people? I guess
Sir?
he's not showing. You show up for me perfectly fine. Are you not getting Adam's video?
No, I'm not.
Oh, Adam, turn your camera off and turn it back on the Skype. But yeah, it's really weird that, like I said, this should have dropped if they would have said, "Hey, early access beta." All of this would have been out the way. People would have been like, you know what? They've still been mad, but then Google would have had a backstand of, "Hey, we told you it's beta," and
I think they were kind of saying that, but they just kind of put a different name on it, like, "Oh, Founders Edition." Like
next week when this gets into reviewers' hands, reviewers are going to eat this shit up. It is going to get ate up, and reviewers are going to review this thing horribly. It's already out there in the wild. I've seen people like IGN have theirs. Greg Miller has his. I think GameSpot has theirs. Giant Bomb has theirs. So you're going to start seeing reviews of this thing, and it's going to be ate up. I think people are going to turn this thing on. Play whatever game they have, Destiny, whatever game they decide to play, and turn it off and wait till 2020 and see what happens when everything's rolling out day and day. I think the streaming tech is good. I think it's there. I think it's, I do think it's time for people to start doing this. The thing that I think is horrible is all those people that paid that money for that Founders Edition, basically for a name at this point. And like I said, your Buddy Pass, basically how it works is, you get your stuff in the mail, and then your Buddy Pass comes in 30 days later, or sometime later after that, basically. So you can't even play with your friend on day one. So we'll see how this goes. People are going to eat this shit up. That's all I know. Next week, if what's bad. Even if before they said the day, if they would have went in a meeting and said, "Hey, we probably need to push this back like 6 months," that would have been fine. Yeah. It's crazy how this goes. So if you got the Founders Edition, guys, I'm sorry.
I'm super glad I hemmed and hawed and did not fucking pick this up.
Yep, especially because there's certain things that are coming up that were announced in XO19 that seem a lot better for my library.
Sure.
So the last thing we're going to talk about here, gentlemen, is Xbox had their little convention this week. XO19 was in London. And it was a really good show, really, really fine show with no problems. Oh, you texted me yesterday. And I want you to explain to me what you were meaning after we're done here. After we go through everything, I would like you to explain to me because I didn't understand your text at all. So I'm just gonna roll through these and we'll talk about the little small ones. Adam, did you get a chance to look at any of this stuff?
A couple of things.
Okay.
Not everything. I failed.
Okay. Did you get a chance to look at the first one?
Rare, yeah.
Okay. All right. So Rare showed a new IP called Everwild. So there were rumors going around that they were making a new Banjo-Kazooie. I guess they've already chunked those rumors down. Banjo is pretty much dead at this point. There is no Banjo besides in Smash. They have a new IP called Everwild. I have BOTW in the show notes right here, guys, because it reminded me a lot of Breath of the Wild. I liked it. The coloring, the color splashes, everything reminded me so much of Breath of the Wild, and it looks good. Now, of course, we only got that CG or whatever trailer you want to call it, but I think it looked great. I really do think it looked fun. Until we see gameplay, obviously, we don't know, but I think it looked fun. You guys see that trailer?
I liked it. Yeah, I haven't, like I said, everyone was thinking that Banjo was coming back. I was one of them. It's kind of sad to hear that, one of my childhood games will never be brought back.
Yeah,
But
they said last week or a week before they came out, the game directors came out and said that with a tweet and said he was pretty much dead. They're not.
Yeah.
They're not. They pretty much put it down. But at the same time, it's good that they communicated that, because of if they would have dropped this and people were actually rumoring and saying they were doing that, that might have been worse.
Yeah, but it was very interesting, and like you said, the Breath of the Wild. I can definitely see how it can be kind of in that same group of games.
I think a lot of games are inspired now by Breath of the Wild. I mean, with Breath of the Wild being probably now a top 10 best game of all time, it's definitely people are going to take inspiration from it. I mean, it's wonderful. I think it looked good.
I mean, they've been taking inspiration out of Zelda games for
Yep.
years.
Long
And it
time.
only makes sense that, Breath of the Wild started this off.
Yep. And I mean, like I said, it was a top 10. It's top 10 best game of all time. I mean, it's not in my top 10, but I mean, it's if we were gonna make a top 10 of what we actually think and of games we never played, but maybe if we actually made a real top 10 list, yeah, it'd be on there. Did you see this one, John?
I didn't watch the trailer for it. No.
No. Okay.
But I'm disappointed that particular character is gone now, especially being the better of the two. So,
what's that, Banjo?
Yep.
I don't think Banjo is fully gone. I just think he's dead for now. I think what they were trying to do was come out and I don't think he fully said they were dead. I think that's actually my own wording. I think the wording was actually, hey, we're not making this, just letting you guys know. Because of the rumor going around saying they were making it. I don't think they actually said dead. I actually think that was my wording.
Okay.
But I do think they said that they also said that I don't think they said anything about the future, but you never know. People want Banjo so bad now that it could happen. So, I mean, they could push that off to another studio, or Rare has multiple teams now. So, it could happen one day.
I'm not even sure I would even buy that game, to be honest with you. I love Banjo-Kazooie 1 and 2, but, I mean, those were then. That was a great game then. I don't think it translates as well nowadays for a new game, unless they revamp the whole system. So,
well, you look at Ukulele. Ukulele just came out, the second one, and Ukulele. Yeah, Ukulele, and people hated the first one, and then they were like, "Yeah, we're not making that again." But now this one's like real Banjo-ish and real Donkey Kong 64. It's real. It's like that. You never know. They could do a Banjo like that. Like, I would hate. I mean, I agree kind of to an extent, because I say the same thing if they were to make another Conker game, because Conker's Bad Fur Day was one of my favorites, and if they were to make a new Conker game, it would be rough for me to try and go back and play that.
I can't tell you how many hours I spent killing fucking teddy bears in that game.
I love the multiplayer in that game. That was so good.
Was amazing.
Jesus, I would love to get a freaking group of people and play freaking, like, what you call it, on some Conquer. God, if that game wasn't so expensive, but I do have my Everdrive. Obsidian. Oh, go ahead, Adam. I'm sorry, I cut you off.
So going back to the, if it translates over well, I've played the remakes of the Spyro and the Crash games.
They did well.
They did well, but going back and playing them, it didn't give me that same feel, because it was just a facelift on an old game.
That's exactly what my point of what I was trying to say. You said it better than I did. I don't think it would give me the same feel.
Right. So they'd have to completely revamp it, and at that point, revamping it changes the core aspect of the game.
See, I can't go to that, because they did take me back to nostalgic. They did that. Those two, both of them, especially Spyro, took me back to when I used to play and when I used to enjoy my childhood, when I enjoyed my life. Those did take me back to those moments. I really enjoyed Spyro, especially. Spyro was my game back in the day, and having all three of those on a trilogy, and I got that and Crash for $12 from Humble Bundle. So, I mean, for that price, yeah, those were wonderful for me to go back and play. Like, I thoroughly enjoyed those. And on the Switch, I mean, for kids, I think they're perfect for the newer generation of children. Like my daughter's 8, almost 9. I think it's perfect for those type of generation of kids to go back and play those games, especially now they have a graphic update. And yeah, I mean, you can tell there's some stuff that's really outdated. I mean, definitely it's like in Spyro, but it was I still enjoyed them. I think
some of the controls in Crash hit pretty hard because I've played Crash a long time, and going back and still falling down one of the jumps on the first level, through no fault of my own, and it's just it doesn't translate very well. Games back in the day were very difficult in the aspect of there was no forgiveness, and then as games have gotten older and or newer, they've kind of been less forgiving, or more forgiving, I should say, than games of our childhood.
The bad part about that is, which I can see what you're saying, because Spyro did the same thing to me a couple times with the control wise, but they're rated so high because people like them, and now a lot of the ratings could be nostalgic, but also if they play really, which they play well for what they are. They were a seller to be remade and to pretty much fund other games, pretty much fund at that point, because that's exactly why they remade, to fund other stuff.
Right.
And I don't hate them. I think they were okay for me. I don't particularly hate them. So I think it's okay when they remake some of these old games. I don't think they would go back and remake a Banjo though. I think they would make a full brand new Banjo with brand new stuff in it, kind of like Yooka-Laylee is. I don't think they should go back and remake a Banjo. Do I think they should port them? Yes, I think they should port them with the same goddamn graphics, with the same everything. But I do not think they should waste the time and remake them. What I think they should do is make a brand new Banjo game, kind of like Yooka-Laylee, and then maybe you would get those older people back. But then you would also have the people that love Donkey Kong 64. If you made a new Donkey Kong in that vein, like a 3D Donkey Kong, so not a 2D, but a 3D Donkey Kong kind of game, kind of like 64 was, people would probably somehow give it some kind of bad rating just because of Donkey Kong 64 was such a cult classic and so well loved by people. Even though the game might be good, it's kind of one of them things, and that's where we get down to, once again, opinions are like assholes. Everybody has them. You don't have to hate a game just because somebody likes it, or you don't have to love a game because somebody hates it. It's kind of one of them things. If you love a game, you love a game. One of my favorite games of all time is a game called Johnny Bazooka Tone, and you can go look it up. Johnny Bazooka Tone is a PS1 game that is horrible. It is a horrible, horrible, horrible platformer, but it is one of the first games I ever played with my grandmother. My grandmother now dead. It is one of the games I will still go back and play and have wonderful memories to, even though that game's horrible and I hate it and I freaking hate playing it. That's some people, man. They want the nostalgic trip. Sometimes I do. I mean, I still watch. If you ask me how many times I've watched the original 1990s Ninja Turtle movies, I can tell you. I probably can't count on all of my hands and toes in this household how many times I've watched those movies. It's just nostalgic, but it's good.
Yeah, but those movies were fucking great.
They were. They really were.
They still hold up.
It's sad. Yes, they do. It's really sad to see the costumes they have pretty much shredding and being torn apart now. And they literally look terrifying. I'm not sure if you guys have seen the Leonardo suit that was worn. It was auctioned off on eBay. If you Google, actually I can do it real quick, but it looks it looks bad. A
bunch of people have remade them and almost movie quality accurate, or some exactly movie quality accurate. So, I mean, yeah, the old costumes are dingy and shit, but
no,
hey,
they're
still living on.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ! Looks like zombie Leonardo.
Yeah, they're horrible.
Or is that Donatello?
No, that's Donatello, I believe. Yeah. They haven't held up very well.
Yeah.
I mean now the movies have, but they're terrifying.
Yeah, that's pretty scary.
Yeah, they're terrifying.
Gonna have nightmares tonight.
Thanks. Yeah, you probably will. You're welcome.
All right.
So we'll move on. Obsidian shows a new game called Grounded. It's coming out in spring 2020. I have here, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, because it's pretty much a survival game where you get shrunk down. People were blasting on this, saying how bad it was and how saying blah 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 blah. Blah. But I don't think what people also realize is that Obsidian was working on this while working on the Outer Worlds. So I think this is cool. I think it's a cool new aspect. Obsidian's always been known for RPGs, and they want to get out there and do something else. That's cool. That's awesome. New game called West of Dead. The beta is out now. It's got Ron Perlman in it. It's about all I know. It didn't look like a game I would play. If you guys want to check that out.
I saw it. It looked like I could waste a bunch of stupid time with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like that kind of art style. I think that's why I wasn't too much fan of it.
I feel like this is gonna be one of those games. If I can pick it up for relatively inexpensive, I will, just to have on my Xbox to kill time with.
Yeah.
Right now, my big time killer is WWE 2K16. So
that game was free back in the day. I got that for free back in the day. I remember that.
Same, and every once in a while I'll just throw it on just to do some stupid shit and
go on there, Ric Flair chop somebody and be done.
I could see this West of Dead game being one of those games that like everybody's kind of like, man, I don't really want to play it, and then price drops, people pick it up, and this is one of the greatest games.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that's going to happen. I'm just saying it's possible.
The beta's out now, so you can go test that theory out if you guys like to.
Yeah. I got stuff going on.
I would think so, especially with the games that are out now.
Yeah.
The good thing is there's no games coming out in the next month or two, so it's a good time to catch up on all this junk that you got. Sea of Thieves: The Seabound Soul is out November 20th. This is their monthly update. I really don't know too much about Sea of Thieves, so I can't speak on too much besides telling you that that's coming out. Rust is coming to Xbox in 2020. I found this announcement to be very funny because I thought this was going to be an exclusive thing, but PlayStation happened to announce the same day, about 3 hours after this was announced, that it's also coming to PlayStation. Who is calling me right now this late at night? I am not going to answer that. Decline. Kart Rider Drift coming in 2020. It's going to have crossplay between PC and Xbox. It's free to play, and the closed beta is going to be on December 5th. This looked fun. It's a little arcade racer that looked fun. Doesn't look like something I'd probably play because it looks like a lot of movement and a lot of learning. If you guys want to talk about something, please stop me. Bleeding Edge is coming March 24th. This kind of excites me. This is from probably my favorite studio, Ninja Theory. It's going to have crossplay, and it's the closed beta is going to be on February the 14th, so Valentine's Day. This excites me. If you guys seen it, everybody was comparing it to Overwatch. It is an Overwatch, but it's third person, and it looks really good. It's third person behind the back. It looks fun. I'm going to try it. I mean, why not? It looks
crazy and silly and fun at the same time. I think it's going to be a Ray game.
Yeah, what's it called? That kind of reminded me of, what was that game that Valve made? What was the game that Valve made? It was in the orange box. It was
Team Fortress?
Team Fortress. There you go. There you go.
I provided helpful information.
I loved that game back in the day. I remember that coming to Xbox. That was so fun. Planet Coaster coming to Xbox summer 2020. Tell Me Why. It's from Don't Nod. Don't Nod is a very story-driven studio it's coming out summer 2020. Don't Nod is also the people that make Life is Strange. The Artful Escape coming from Annapurna. This is a platformer. It's coming out in 2020 that kind of had a really cool art style. If you guys seen any of these trailers, you should go check it out. It had a really cool art style. I'm going to save the xCloud stuff for last, guys. But it had a really cool art style, and I really might go check it out. Big announcement, Yakuza 0 and Yakuza Kiwami 1 and 2 are coming to Xbox Game Pass in 2020. That's a pretty big announcement because these have always been exclusive for a while. So now you'll be able to play these on Xbox.
This was part of my thing about what I texted you, just FYI.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I still don't understand it, so you'll still have to explain it. But I do kind of now I kind of see where you were trying to go.
Yeah.
Adam, you still here, buddy? Okay, there you go. Drake Hollow. It's a co-op kind of survival crafting type game. that's coming out. They showed a little bit of Flight Simulator, and God, that game looks fucking beautiful. I'm going to play
Hell
it.
yeah.
Um,
This game,
Age-
that flight simulator is going to be super, extremely realistic. My buddy who's a
I
pilot is very excited for it.
I really wish I had a stick. Like I really wish I had a flight stick.
Yeah.
I may think about going to get a cheap flight stick just so I can play on my computer. Um,
I mean, with
Age-
Microsoft Flight Simulator, you can basically learn exactly how to fly a fucking plane.
a-
Period.
Flight Simulator is going to be one of them, like Adam just discussed, one of them fuck around games to where if I'm bored as shit and I want to go fly over Dubai, I can go fly over Dubai.
Yeah.
So it's going to be one of them because they're using their map technology, and they have like 400,000 airports or something. It's some kind of small, it's kind of big ass number. That's weird, dude. It looks wonderful.
Sure.
Crashes Stadia into my house.
Yeah, they were from what I was told, they were telling people to go find their house when they were doing the reviews, like the playthroughs, like, hey, go find your house in San Francisco, or hey, go find your house here, and people were doing it, and it's looks good.
Wow.
Age of Empires 4 was shown. It was announced. It was announced 2 years ago. Not much. They went quiet, which is cool because that means they were getting the work done on the game. It's going to be a medieval in medieval times. And they also announced that Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition was out now, and I believe you can actually get that on Game Pass.
Yeah, I had it preloaded from before
okay.
when they announced it.
Okay, I thought that you could. Crossfire X gameplay was shown. This was that game at E3 that everybody was like, "What the fuck is that?" It's a free to play shooter. Pretty much, it kind of looked Counter Strike wise, Counter Strike shooter type thing. It was on PC forever, and they will now have a single player campaign. They are now working with Remedy on a single player campaign, so we'll see how that goes. I think that might look good, especially knowing Remedy and their fast paced movement. Last Stop, which is an Annapurna Twin Peaks type game. What to see how that looks. It looked very Twin Peaks, very confusing and weird. Minecraft Dungeons is coming April 2020. That looked fun. It doesn't look like it's for me, but it looked fun. It looked like it might be a cool experience for a bunch of friends to go play in. So
Yeah,
I would probably play
my
it
buddy
if I
was
had
talking
people.
about that today.
If I had people.
kind of Diablo meets Minecraft, and he
Yes.
wants to pick it up and have some good times in it.
Well, good news for you. If you have Game Pass, it's automatically on there in April. Yeah, because Mozilla, or who is it? Is it Mozilla? It's Mozilla, I believe, is the people that work on Minecraft, so you'll be able to get that for free.
Best deal in gaming.
Yep, best goddamn deal in gaming. I'll say it in forever. I'm gonna put that as our cover photo on everything we have.
Hell yeah.
9 Final Fantasy games are coming to Game Pass next year. So you got Final Fantasy 7, Final Fantasy 8, Final Fantasy 9, Final Fantasy 10, 10-2, Final Fantasy 12, not 11, because 11 was the online. Final Fantasy 12 is Zodiac Age. Final Fantasy 13, 13 Returns, or Lightning Returns, 13-2, I believe, and Final Fantasy 15. Did I get that right? Yes, I did. I'm pretty sure I got that right. And then also Square announced that all the Kingdom Hearts HD is coming to Xbox. That's also good because these haven't been there. Those have been exclusive. So those will be good for people that haven't got into the series.
Do you think Kingdom Hearts will ever come to the Switch?
Kingdom Hearts will never come to the Switch. And the only reason I'd say that is it's not massively graphical, but I also could get voted wrong, and I kind of hope I do because I would play it there. I know
that
Nintendo
had some DS titles of Kingdom Hearts.
Oh no, they only had one. They had Birth by Sleep, not Birth by Sleep, but the not the second one, but the third one. It's fuck. I just played it. Hold on, you're gonna make me mad. Let me think. Let me look at it. Well, I'm gonna get mad if I don't see it because I literally just because it's the worst one. I hate. Well, everybody loves it, but I hated it. I hated it because it's card based. It's
358 2 days.
No. Hold on.
Recoded.
Recoded it. Chain of Memories. Chain of Memories was the game. I forgot Recoded was also on the DS and 3DS, and Birth by Sleep was too. So yeah, all of those they were PSP. All of those though they're in a big a big what's it called now? Kind of like a collection type thing where it's the all-in-one collection you can get. It's actually on sale on the PS Store right now for like 34 bucks I think right now. It's usually 99, so it's a pretty good deal. But no, man, for some reason I don't see it coming to Switch. Just something in me, I don't see it coming. ID at Xbox showed multiple indies that will be coming to Game Pass this year. Coming up. So that'll be fun. One of them being Skatebird, which Skatebird looks like a wonderful little game where you're skating as animals. Wasteland 3 gameplay and trailer was shown. Wasteland 3 is another wonderful little RTS that looks great. I will probably be playing that. This was actually talked about in the middle, but I want to save it for last. So xCloud is coming to PC in 2020. They're going to have 50 plus games. They have 50 plus games right now for your people that are in preview. Remember, you guys can play right now if you sign up. Well, you have to get chosen, but it's for Android only. But it will be coming to other things next year. It will support Bluetooth controllers, including DualShock 4, which was lovely when that was announced because you could see, you heard everybody say, ooh, and then you seen, what's her name's face? I forgot whoever was announcing, you seen her face go, oh yeah. So, they announced the EA games are coming right now. They've got Madden 2020 on there right now, but they're adding more and more. Right now they're just adding more games. 2020 games, or hold on, I'm sorry. 2020, the games you own, this is coming in 2020, I'm sorry. The games that you own, you can stream. So anything that you own on your Xbox, you can stream, which is why I said earlier, this is already in my wheelhouse because I own so many games on the Xbox and now I can stream those. So this is already in my wheelhouse. The other thing is game streaming is going to be part of Game Pass next year. Another reason why I say that I'm already in this wheelhouse. So those are the big things coming at Cloud. I will tell you, gentlemen, that I am excited about that.
For sure. 100%, man. Like, this is going to be really freaking good.
Yep. I can't wait for it. I wish they had the iOS beta right now so I could hop in there.
Sure.
Adam, I know you got an iPhone, don't you?
Yep.
I need to find somebody who's got a Android and freaking have them sign up just so I can try it out. But that's why I can't wait, man. They still didn't announce a date, which is I was kind of hoping they would. I think I'm thinking maybe March is when we'll get to try it. But a lot of that stuff was also, remember guys, the xCloud and game streaming is going to be different. Game streaming is, of course, your game streaming from your Xbox. But the xCloud stuff, they're actually going to have games in the cloud, kind of like what Stadia is doing. They'll have games in the cloud where you can play that. So it's really exciting. Anything else that you guys seen in there that you want to discuss a little bit more on? We're doing pretty well.
I'll go into the text message a little bit. So I'm going to read word for word what the text message said, so people know. I texted you yesterday about this, saying the clear lines between Xbox and PlayStation blurred some more with that last Inside Xbox. And what I meant by that was, look at these announcements. Yakuza, typically PS exclusive. The 9 Final Fantasy games, PS exclusives. Kingdom Hearts at one point, all that stuff, and now the DualShock 4 controllers. You can't see a difference anymore. Almost, it's just becoming everybody's got a port, everybody's got the same game, and
which is how it should be.
Absolutely, I'm not saying it's not.
That's how it should be. Yeah,
but that was the point of what I was saying. Is just
okay,
the lines are blurred. They're not there anymore. It's
more understanding now.
Yeah, it becomes everybody's just equal, and we can play fucking games together. That's great.
Yeah, well, it should be like that. It should be everybody play together, kind of like Modern Warfare is right now. Modern Warfare has brought a lot of people together because of now it's way more toxic because now you got twice as many people. But it's also fun because I can play with friends of mine who don't have Xboxes. It's cool on that nature. Go ahead, Adam.
I think we talked about this very slightly last week, but Ready Player One, I feel like is going to be where gaming is going, and just one centralized console is going to be, that's where you go for gaming, not going to be PlayStation, Xbox. Everything will eventually just amalgamate into one.
I see that end up being a services, not even just no consoles anymore, just a service.
Adam, I agree with you, and I see that happening. but I don't see that happening in mine, yours, or Jonathan's lifetime. I do see your iteration happening, but I don't see it happening anytime in our lifetime. And if it does happen, it'll be when we're 60 or 70 years old, because I don't think technology's there. They've already, I mean, we talked a story last week or the week before about how PlayStation's already got their patents out for PS10 up to PS10. They fully feel like they've already said they're going to make a console until the console's dead. And Xbox said the same thing. They're going to make a console until it's dead. Nintendo's going to do the same thing. Nintendo's usually just last a little bit longer for some reason.
Because
but we'll
they don't
see.
want to let it go.
Yeah, if it's great, why fix it?
Yeah,
It's
sure.
kind of one of the things. The Wii U was like their only like shitty console, and to be honest, I really don't think the Wii U is just a shitty console. It just doesn't have the games.
Yeah.
That's it.
I didn't have a problem with the Wii U. I loved it.
No, I love my Wii U. But
I think it was the only Nintendo console I did not own was the Wii U.
I bought mine pre-owned from GameStop. I almost bought a brand new one, and the guy was like, "Just buy pre-owned, dude. It's a lot cheaper." And I was like, "Okay, well, this is gonna suck because if shit breaks, I'm fucked." He's like, "No, man, we'll take it through." All right, cool. I'll take it. And I saved about $200. Like, all right,
Nice.
banging. But yeah, I do see your iteration happening. I just don't see it happening in our lifetime. And like I said, if it does, it may happen in 30 years or 20 years. But I think once streaming happens, streaming is going to be the big thing for kind of like consoles have been. How people switch from cartridge to CD. That's still happening right now. And then streaming is going to take on for a long time. I really do feel that way, but I really hope it would be that way because I loved Ready Player One's world and I loved the way they did things in that world. Kind of like a main hub, kind of like a social hub, and then you just went off and did whatever. That was awesome.
Well, that and then Ready Player One, they like a lot of people ported in all their stuff. So you had your worlds from your big MMOs, but you also had recreations of Adventure and Zork and old school games. So
Right.
that's with emulators nowadays, I can play whatever PS1 and before on my Switch,
Right.
through an emulation, and I can on my PC, emulate from the 3DS backwards, and eventually it's not going to be a big issue once technology gets to where it needs to be, and if that turns into streaming is where it's at, then eventually we have to go from the old generation to the new generation.
Yeah, eventually. It has to happen eventually. And the bad part about it is it'll be a slow burn. It's kind of like Google doing Stadia. I as much as we just talk shit on them, and as much as everybody's going to down them next week, I do commend them for putting a product out there and trying.
Yeah.
If there's because it's here. It's time. A company tried it a couple years ago. What was it called? I think it was Hi-Fi, or it was some kind of company that did it a couple years ago, and it was shitty because the technology wasn't there yet. But now the technology's here, and I commend Google for actually trying. Now, did they do it the wrong way? Yes. Is their business model wrong? Fully, yes. But I do commend them for putting the technology out there and letting people see, hey, we're still working on this. It's coming along very well. So,
There's
yeah,
plenty of stuff out there that has had shitty fucking launches and turned out to be great things. People love them. So,
look at PS4's launch, man.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Look at PS4's launch. It was shitty. Now they've sold 102 million consoles. So, it Stadia, like we might be talking about this now. Don't get me wrong. I agree with some big analysts like Greg Miller and such when they say, there's no going back to a first impression. So your first impression is already shot down. So this because your first impression is, hey, we got 12 games for you. Hey, it's not in beta. This is a full-fledged launch. That's your first impression. So there's no going back to a first impression. It's always going to be put down from this. It's always going to be talked about. Look at Xbox One. Xbox One's launch is still talked about to this day from their E3 stuff, talking about how you won't be able to play pre-owned games, how you'll always be online, how your stuff will be listening to you, all that good stuff. That's still talked about to this day, and still part of the reason why Xbox does not report their numbers to NPD so people can see. It's just what it is, man. And I think Stadia will be all right eventually. When it's coming day and day with junk, I just want to see the technology. That's all I want to see. I could care less about it. I just want to see the technology. I want to make sure it works. You know, that's all I really want to see.
Yeah.
That's it. Um, Gentlemen, let's hop into Budget Gamer. Jonathan?
Real quick, one last side note. I think technology is going to change within our lifetime in a major way, because it already has. Think about when we were children, phones were tied to the wall and just everything. And now with SpaceX launching their their new satellites for the Starlink, this broadband internet that Musk is promising, could be paving the way for streaming.
Right, but I want you to also remember that you were talking about phones on the wall and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That was 30 years ago. I need you to remember that. Like, that's 30 years. Okay, so I'm 30. Okay, 30 years from now, I'm how old? 60. Right, correct.
My grandfather just passed away. Not my grandfather. My great uncle just passed away at 96.
Right. I'm not saying that's not something. My grandma just passed away a couple years ago at 112. She was one of the last people from the Titanic. But I mean, I'm not saying I'm not going to live that long, but I know I'm not. I'm gonna die at 45 or 50. But I just know how my life goes. But
I keep telling Courtney I'm living to 101 and she's dying at 100. So
I'm not. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die before everybody. I know. I just want everybody to cry over me so I can get some attention for once. But it's one of them things that I think it's going to happen. I fully agree with you. And we're sitting here we're debating about it, but we don't know. But it's one thing. I think it's going to happen. It's just going to take time. And it's just like streaming. Streaming technology is going to take time. It's xCloud's going to drop. I think the reason I say the thing about Stadia is because Xbox is doing it right with hey, we're in beta. We're in beta. Let us know how we're doing. There's no full-fledged launch yet. Excuse me again. Damn, excuse me again. But drinking a lot of Mountain Dew. But if I do see that happening, man, I just don't know if it could. I really hope it does. I hope I am walking on a goddamn VR walking plate like in Ready Player One. I hope I am. It's just so I can have a blast. I want the Neuralink like Sword Art Online. I want to be able to go do that stuff. I want to be in that world, That's the kind of stuff I would love to do, but I just don't see that happening in our lifetime for some reason. I don't know.
Well, I mean, they already have Omni trackpads for VR, so
That's
it's
true.
just getting all this stuff integrated into one seamless unit.
That's true. You're right.
A little bit to think about. We've been on accelerated technology, technology has just accelerated over the last 60 years, and that's because we just figured things out and boom. But we're also reaching a cap to the limits of our computer power as well. We don't know how to get beyond that yet, and that's why we're exploring all these little different things about faster than light transfers and all that other garbage.
And you got teraflops and all that good nature.
Yeah, and when we reach that cap, we're not going to be able to go beyond it unless we figure out a new technology for ourselves that's more streamlined and so forth. So we don't know what the future will hold. We may become stagnant for a while. We don't know.
Nope. I mean, but I can hope, man. I will tell you, I really do hope your thing comes true, because I would love that. I mean, that's something I would love. I just don't know if I see it in our lifetime, man. Like, I would, if it does, I might be 70 years old if I'm not dead up there running around on a trackpad just because I said I'm going to do this one day. So
mechanical legs,
just mechanical legs, just little tink up there running.
I heard a podcast and they were talking about this, and they said that it would suck to get to that point to where that is now readily available, and then to find out that your brain is too old to accept that kind of technology. Yeah. That you did something stupid when you're 12 years old and fucked up the part of your brain that needed to accept that neurotransmitter.
Wouldn't that suck if it was playing video games?
Yep. Most people have either done that or they have smoked too much where they're now like, I have multiple friends. I will always continue to say weed is not a bad drug. It is an awesome thing. But I do have friends that have smoked way too much in their lifetime, and now they have the stoner talk where they are just straight high all the fucking time, even when they're not high. So I mean, their mind's probably
that's what happens when you smoke way too much weed all the fuck time.
Just for no reason, it's you're just smoking to smoke at that point. But that just going to brain activity. Let's move on, man. Go ahead, Jonathan. Go ahead with your budget gamer.
All right, I'm going to run through this budget gamer real quick. All right, guys. So budget gamer, I'm going to start off with CD keys for those who want to get Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. They're currently, as of today, the standard edition for PC and Xbox One is going to be $55.89. And the deluxe edition for Xbox One is $57.19, which is actually a good deal if you guys want to get the deluxe edition. Before, it was about $49 when I first purchased it the day before the game came out.
Uh-oh. I lost sound from John.
So did I.
Did you? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'll continue with what he's saying until he comes back. Okay.
Can you hear me now?
He's back. There he is.
All right, where did I leave off on?
You left off on the deluxe edition, yeah.
Okay, so the deluxe edition is $57.19. It's a good deal if you feel the need to get the deluxe edition. These prices sometimes do fluctuate. I'd found because originally the standard edition I bought for $49 about.
They fluctuate. They usually fluctuate daily.
Yeah.
CDkeys.com fluctuates very daily.
Absolutely. But sometimes they got some great deals. So
yeah. So moving on, the Epic Game Store. Jonathan's frozen again. Moving on to the Epic Game Store. Right now you can get the Messenger November 14th through the 21st. And then you can also get Bad North November 21st through the 28th. Go ahead, John. You were frozen. That's why I took over.
Oh, okay. No worries. Xbox Games with Gold, Friday the 13th. The game on Xbox One will be available on October 16th for November 15th for free.
That's already gone.
Yep. Oh, sorry.
I just realized the date.
Oh, okay, yeah. Sherlock Holmes, The Devil's Daughter, Xbox One, November 1st through the 30th.
Wonderful game.
The Final Solution, Xbox One, November 16th through December 15th.
That's the
and Joyride Turbo, Xbox 360, November 16th through the 30th. Moving on to PS Plus. PS Plus, can you pronounce that word for me? Because
Neo.
Okay, Neo is going to be available November 5th through December 3rd. Outlast 2 also will be available November 5th through December 3rd.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Go ahead. On the iOS store, lastly, Bastion will be available November 5th through December 31st for free.
Going to PS Plus, Neo, guys, is it's probably one of the only Dark Souls type games I've fully enjoyed. Neo is a samurai type Dark Souls made by Team Ninja, and it is wonderful. Neo 2 is coming out this year, or 2020. So check out Neo if you want to. I bought the deluxe for like $14.99 or something. It was super cheap. Let's hop in.
I need to boot up my PS4 and actually start downloading these free games.
Do you have PS Plus right now?
I do.
I don't have it. My buddy has it, so I have to go on his account and download games if I want.
I have it. I don't use it. I don't know why I still pay for it.
I don't use it either. That's the only reason I stopped paying for it. He pays for it, so I kind of just go on his account and just download the games because he never even plays anymore. I mean, literally, my PlayStation is literally an exclusive machine, if you will. That's the only reason. Most people I know play on PS4, but the only reason I have it is for exclusives. I'm an Xbox main. That's what I've always done. So new releases. We'll do this, guys. Like we said before the show, it'll be me, John, and Adam. John, are you frozen? You look frozen. Yep, you're frozen. So we'll go with all right. So we'll go like we have. So Bubble Bobble for Friends, Switch, coming out for the Switch in Europe on November 19th.
We got Football Manager 2020 for the PC on November 19th.
Now, is this football like soccer or football like
soccer? No, that's soccer. No, that's soccer.
It's an EA game.
No, EA game.
It's a. Oh, never mind. I'm sorry. You're right.
Go ahead. I need to know who makes that now. It's just going to bother me.
Google Stadia Founders Edition, November 19th. Let's watch this train wreck.
Oh, that's going to be a bad train wreck. Guilt for Stadia on November 19th. This is the only game on that list that I want to play. Guilt is the only one on that list I want to play.
Narcos, Rise of the Cartels, PC and PS4, November 19th.
Sports Interactive makes that, and it's published by Sega. I knew it was a big thing. Go ahead.
How do you pronounce this word?
Shenmue.
Have you never played Shenmue?
No, I have not played.
You never played Shenmue 1 or 2?
Wow.
The name does not sound familiar, so
they're on, dude. If you don't, Well, yeah, Dreamcast is where I originally played, but they have both of them on Xbox Game Pass right now. Go ahead, Adam. Shenmue 3.
Sorry, my dog was ripping up carpet. Shenmue 3 for PC, PS4, November 19th.
PC, that's going to be Epic Game Store, guys. WRC 8 for the Switch in the US on November 19th.
Children of Morta on the Switch, November 20th.
Black Future 88 for PC and Switch, November 21st.
Farmers Dynasty for the PS4 and Xbox One, November 21st.
What accent were you going for there?
I don't know. I was trying to think about something, but I was just going for something.
I think it switched in the middle. I'm not sure.
It switched. I realized that the accent wasn't working, so I went back to my normal.
It's all good. Lumberjacks Dynasty, PC, November 21st. I'm guessing that's related.
Probably. The bad part about that is, Adam, is I probably have an accent. None of us can tell, but the guy from Denmark can probably be like, that's a southern.
People from like Europe always can like pinpoint accents directly, and it's insane.
Dude, I can tell you, when I moved to Minnesota, it was horrible, but I can tell you one thing. If you're a single gentleman and you move to Minnesota with a southern accent, they fucking love the shit out of you up there. Minnesota. I hate that goddamn place.
Hey, don't ruin our listeners here.
We have, I seen from analytics, we have no listeners from Minnesota, so I will say
I'm glad you did that research beforehand.
I hate that place.
Going back to Narcos Rise of the Cartel is releasing on the Switch a couple days later on November 21st.
Let me reiterate. I'm not saying that place is bad. I actually think Minnesota's a good state. I just don't like it because it's fucking cold. Prison. It was fucking 60 degrees in the summertime. I have an issue with that. Prison Architect, Psych Ward, Warden's Edition expansion. Jeez, that's a long name for the PC. And November 21st.
So I got this game when it was pre-release. Like I was like a Patreon, not Patreon.
What is it? Is it on Steam?
I don't know. Like I said, I bought it when it was like whatever.
Are you building a prison?
Yeah, you build a prison.
That's it?
Yep. But I don't know if I still get these stupid expansion emails.
This actually looks okay.
Let me look.
Yeah, it's on Steam. It's okay. It's $30. Okay. All right. Go ahead, John. It's you.
Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle 2.0 expansion pack. PC, PS4, and Switch, November 22nd.
Civilization.
That one. Civ 6.
Civ 6. There you go.
Cannot pronounce words. Civ 6 for the PS4, Xbox One on November 22nd.
Narcos Rise of the Cartels. Jesus, is this game releasing 3 different times on 3 different platforms? Yes, it is.
It looks like.
On Xbox One, November 22nd. That's a weird-ass launch.
Mm-hmm. Sniper Ghost Warrior Contracts. PC, PS4, Xbox One, November 22nd.
Already bought. I love Sniper Ghost Warrior. Even though they're horrible games, I love them. So, gentlemen, our topic of the week, what moment in gaming has hit you the hardest emotionally? I'm gonna let you two go before I do. We'll start with Jonathan. So, what gaming has hit you hardest emotionally? If you want to talk about it a little bit. If it chokes you up, it's okay. Mine's probably gonna choke me up a little bit.
No. I got my eye gunk. So we talked about Prey earlier, and Prey kind of hit me emotionally, just because this whole game you are going around, and for those who don't know, you're kind of this Native American. Yeah, the original. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, in the original, you are a Native American gentleman, and your girlfriend basically gets abducted by aliens, and you have to go fight them. So this whole time, you're trying to communicate, trying to get to your girlfriend, save her, all this other shit. You get to the final one of the final bosses. Spoilers. And it is your spoiler alert. One of the final bosses is your girlfriend. They merge her into this giant, ugly beast, and you have to fight her. And she's like, please kill me, all this other bullshit. That's terrifying and makes you not want to shoot the boss. And it really kind of choked me up as I'm trying to like dodge and move around and shoot. And then at the end, I have to finally just put a bullet in my fucking girlfriend's brain that I've been working so hard to save, and that was fucking tough for me. I was like, oh my god, this is bullshit. I've been working so fucking hard to save her life, and then I don't get the payoff at the end. I don't get
can
to
see how that
it's bullshit.
It's bullshit. No, that's bullshit. It's definitely bullshit. You technically you could have, because if she was a lifeless corpse, you still could have done your thing.
Well, she wasn't a lifeless corpse.
Shot her.
I killed her. Oh, you're talking about if I killed her. Yeah. I could have. I don't know where the orifice was, except for maybe her mouth, because she was kind of merged with.
You could just rub it in there. Just rub it in the mouth a little bit.
I don't know. I don't know.
I mean,
you
can make your own little orifice.
You could make your own.
Yeah, that's true. I did put a hole in her brain, so
Did
whatever.
she still have elbows? Because you could go this function right here.
That's kind of weird. She did have folds, but it wasn't her. It was the creature she was merged into.
You've never done this and lubed it up and done yourself like that?
I don't even think my elbow. Hold on, let me try to reach it.
Let me see if I can. Yeah. I'm gonna try that when I get off.
Hold on, I'm gonna put this in my crevice of my inner elbow here and see if my dick's not long enough. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, my stomach sticks out faster. We're white, man. That's kind of what happens when you're white.
This was hard to choose though, because there's a lot of good choked up moments. Actually,
the other topic that you had that we will be talking about next week was similar to this, but not super similar, but it's different. So that I had two that would have worked for this, but now because of that one, I can move that other one. I have two, so I can move one to that one. So I'm kind of happy about that. Yeah. Are you finished up?
Yeah, I'm finished up. I'm going to save my other one for next time.
Okay, cool. Adam, go ahead, buddy.
So, spoiler alert for The Last of Us. You know, I'm sure you guys,
I cried.
I
was emotional in the game. God damn it.
Joel, very beginning, loses his daughter, and that's rough on him. And then you spend this whole, game protecting this girl who basically becomes your pseudo daughter. And, all this stuff, thinking everything will be fine. You're saving the world, preventing, the end of the world, making the cure, all this stuff. And then once you get into, I forget what city it is. I think it's not Salt Lake City, but whatever the city is.
I believe it's Seattle.
Seattle, or whatever the city is. You see the giraffes. It's this beautiful
that's
moment.
Seattle. That's Seattle. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then you get to the hospital, and then you find out that they're going to have to harvest her brain to do this procedure and make the cure and save the world. And basically Joel has to come to terms with that, and he doesn't. He chooses one life over saving the whole world. He's already lost one daughter. Now he has to let them kill his pseudo daughter, and Joel just fucks over the entire world to save his daughter.
You don't really blame him though. Like
No, you don't, and that's the bad part. It's like, goddamn.
You don't really want to blame Joel, because it's like, man, I probably would have done the same damn thing, and it sucks. Like, especially when you're playing in that. Like I said, that game hit me so emotionally, dude. Like, that game was so good. Oh my god, that game. Like I said, it's still like, eventually we're gonna do a top 50, like a each person type top 50, and that's one of mine. Like, it's one of my top 5. Like, the game is so good. Like, I love it.
That was my second choice, Adam, by the way. Well, one of my second choices. I had 3.
Well,
mine,
the first part when he loses his actual daughter, like that, fucked up. Like, and it's like you 5 minutes into the game, and you're like, holy shit, like this is gonna be a fucked up game.
Yeah,
you're like, I thought this was gonna be a girl in this fucking game. What the fuck?
Well, yeah, I mean, when you first start, you're like, oh, okay, I see who I'm gonna play as now, or you're gonna play as Joel, but in the trailers and stuff, you have a little girl running around with you, so you think it's gonna be her, and then that happens, and you're like, oh shit, okay.
So where did this other girl come from? Yeah, you start getting.
And then I think it's the first mission you play as Ellie. You get kidnapped by cannibals. Yeah. Like, it's a fucked up game from start to finish. But goddamn it, I think it's one of my top 3.
You care about those characters so much.
You do.
Period.
Like, I was so happy. Like, I'm telling you, if you could have seen my reaction when I pretty much knew Joel was alive, but there was still part of me that was like, he's probably dead.
Yeah.
Like when they showed Joel in the new trailer, and I was like, oh yes, like my face kind of lit up because it was like, because I like Joel because he was a fucked up character, but I understood him. Like I understood like him emotionally and certain things that he did and why he did them. You know, I understood that.
He wasn't really a fucked up character, in my opinion.
No, he wasn't fucked up. He was fucked up in what he was doing because he was
Right.
doing it for the wrong reasons in the beginning, and then he changed his mind once he got to know Ellie.
Right.
Like he was doing it. He was pretty much supposed to be delivering this girl, and he knew what he was delivering this girl for. And then once he said he was going to do it for the money or whatever, then he realized he's like, oh shit, this is a person. This is a real life person. Like what I'm doing is fucked up.
We can all understand somebody who went through a huge fucking trauma and then their heart getting hardened and just being this cold-blooded bastard.
Yeah,
you know?
not caring.
And you just but deep down that was the great of the levels of that game, was because even though you knew he came off as this hardened person, you knew deep down that's not who that motherfucker is.
Yeah,
Like, you could tell he actually legitimately cared about the situation. He just couldn't admit it to himself. And that was the psychological blow where it makes you fall in love with those characters.
Right.
Absolutely.
And that's a wonderful pick, Adam. Good job. Mine, Adam, you've played it. Jonathan, you haven't. So I'm going to try to keep this as spoiler fucking free as possible. I hate having to do this. But the biggest moments ever hit me is I've actually talked about it before, but I haven't went into depth, should I say. God of War 2018 hit me in a very emotional part of my body that I've never been hit before in a video game. You know, at first,
I can disconnect from this headset while you talk about it if you want.
I'm not going to say anything spoilery.
Oh, okay.
It's not. I'm not going to say anything spoiler. So, because I've just figured out a way I could talk around it. So, when you start the game, you automatically, because you remember playing old God of Wars and they're so violent. Yeah. Kratos is killing everybody. He's not caring about life. You remember Kratos killed actually his family back in the day to be a god. And you think you're going into this game and it being just that again, and it is, but you're also walking with Kratos while he's learning to be a dad. That's really not a spoiler, John. You can kind of see that why he's with Atreus. So Atreus is his son. That's the little boy that runs around with you. And you're walking around, and in the beginning of this game, you realize, wow, Kratos, you're a shitty dad. And then by the end of the game, I'm not going to say what I'll say, but I will say you realize the turn. You realize the change. You can see the change. You can feel the change. You can hear the change by the way he talks. And it's so emotional. And the reason I got so emotional is because when the game came out, I had just walked into a life of two little girls that are not mine, but are mine. And walking into a fathership role, not really doing that before, kind of doing it before, I guess, if you want to call it that, but I won't go into that. Walking into that role and then being like, I see a lot of me and Kratos about how the dumb bad shit or the annoying stuff I do, even though it's parent stuff. You have to discipline your kids because you're a parent. You can't be their friend all the time. I mean, all of us have been there, unfortunately. Well, besides you, Adam. But it still sucks. And watching Kratos grow as a dad and then learning from that and kind of, I don't want to say take the same stuff he was doing, but that hit me, like, especially by the end of the game. By the end of the game, I was crying. Like, by the very last part of the game, seeing him and Atreus in that very, Adam, you know which part I'm talking about, right? When you get the plot twist at the end.
Yep.
Okay, so yeah, John, there's a plot twist, but it's not till the end. So there you go. That's really not a spoiler. That was known. I really don't know how you've gotten away from spoilers from that game for this long, but
I'm an expert at it.
Well, I mean, I've also walked away from spoilers of BioShock for years because I've actually never really fully beat BioShock. So I've walked away from that for years. So I know how it feels. But going back to that, it taught me something. It taught me what not to do and what I don't want to say what not to do, but what to do as a dad and how to grow and how if this hard, now don't get me wrong, it is fake, but if this in fantasy, but if this hard ass fucking warrior used to be a god can grow and be a dad to a little shitty ass little snot nosed kid, then anybody can. And it just showed in the game's director, which is his name's Cory Barlog. Cory Barlog was going through fatherhood at the same time, and you hear him talking. It gets so emotional about how if you haven't watched it, go watch the Raising Kratos documentary. After you get done with the game, Jonathan, go watch the Raising Kratos. Raising Kratos is the documentary of Sony Santa Monica as they're making God of War. It's the best hour and 10-minute documentary I've ever watched. And that game just hit me in a place like that. It's still I've stated this before. It's my favorite game of all time. Like, it's beat Final Fantasy VII. It just taught me a new way to be a dad. It really did. It taught me a new way, emotionally and mentally, to be a dad, and to try and not be such the hard ass to your kids, but to try and raise them in a way that you feel is right, and to do what you feel like you need to. And that's the way I feel like Kratos was.
Christopher Judge, who plays the voice of Kratos, is a great actor, and
I love that dude.
He's been so minimized for a long time. But I fell in love with him when he came on Stargate, and Stargate is my favorite sci-fi show of all time.
I love it.
I'll always promote Christopher Judge to do anything that's a warrior, because he is a great actor as a warrior. That's a great actor that plays warriors.
When you watch it, Adam, have you seen that documentary?
I have not.
You need to watch that too, dude. It was giving me chills. Like watching this young kid, which I don't remember who plays Atreus. Hold on. Watching this young kid play Atreus. Shit. Watch this young kid. Who was this young kid's name? His name was
Sonny Suljic.
Sonny Suljic. He's a real young kid. At that time, he was young. Watching him and Christopher Judge on the scan map, or on the animation map, the doing the voice stuff and doing all that together, doing the actions, it's so fucking emotional. Like, just sitting back, I was getting like my hairs were raising just watching them, because they were so into it, and it was almost like they were really father and son. Like, the game's amazing. I don't know how people have not played it, which I can understand how you haven't, but you have to, dude. The game is amazing.
I went into it expecting, old God of War, hack and slash, just, that kind of gore with just a pretty facelift on it, and having my, whatever the term. I was expecting one thing, I got, presented something else, and it was the best switcheroo in a video game that I've ever had.
Yep,
and
I agree.
The part at the very end where Kratos explains why he gave him his name, called him Atreus, and having him, every time you're in a boat, him tell a story, and then Atreus finally goes, "Well, you finally told a good story." At that point, I was like, "Oh God, don't cry."
Yeah, I mean, just watching them grow, watching in the beginning of the game to where, Atreus is kind of a dickhead to Kratos because he knows Kratos ain't a good dad. And then watching it towards the end where he's like congratulating him and doing things. And then watching if something happens to Atreus in a cutscene, which I won't tell you, but watching, if anything, this is really hard to talk about, by the way, because it's fucking spoilery. But if anything happens to Atreus, watching Kratos' reaction, watching his reaction to that, like, oh shit, my son, like getting that parent reaction, like, oh my God.
Because it was pure. It was actually.
Yeah, it was, you could tell. Like, Christopher Judge played it so well, and that's why I said he should have got VO of the year last year when that game came out, and he didn't get it, and I was so mad. I think what's his name that played Arthur Morgan got it, and I really wish Christopher Judge would have got it, because he played that part so well. Oh my God, dude! Like, I'm telling you, actually, John, hold on, I tell you right now, because you need to play that. You need to play that, dude. It's a game you got to play, so I can freaking talk about it.
I just need to finish it, to be honest with
you. Yep. Well, the bad part about it is you're probably gonna have to go watch a freaking.
Probably have to replay it or something.
Well, no, you probably just watch up to so you can remember. But the main story is 20 and a half hours long is how long you can take to beat it. So, I mean, I think you should do it, dude. It's a wonderful game. If you have kids, it really helps you. Well, I don't want to say it helps you, everybody, but it'll teach you a little bit, I would think.
I think I'm 9 hours in right now.
Yeah, that's not bad. Yeah, so you're not far.
Mhm.
It's a wonderful experience. Even if you got to kick the difficulty all the way down to like the easiest difficulty just to finish it out so you can see the story, dude, it's worth it.
No, I didn't even think it was that difficult as far as that
No,
goes. The
it's not.
skills are actually super good when you get used to them. I love the skills.
Yeah, I don't think there was anything wrong with that game when it came out. I loved it.
No, absolutely. So,
Um, I think that's going to do it for us guys on this very wonderful episode number 22. Unless anybody's got anything, Jonathan, Adam, you guys got anything else before we head on to this? So, what we're about to sit down and record, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and plug our new show. We have a new show that we're actually about to sit down and talk about here. New show coming out starting tonight. It'll be up by tomorrow. It's called The Podalorian. It's called The Podalorian because we are going to be pretty much talking very spoilery and very reviewishly of The Mandalorian, which is the Disney Plus exclusive show, and we can't. I can't wait to hear what these two gentlemen have to say about it. But I have been loving it and can't wait to talk a little bit about it with them. So make sure to check that out, guys. Make sure to search for that. You can search for that on the it'll be posted on the ADHD Gamer Facebook page and also on the ADHD Gamer YouTube page, but it will be under audio podcast. It will be its own show. So to listen to it, you will be able to listen to the Podalorian. It will be a brand new show on audio podcast. So make sure to check that out. Guys, you got anything else before we head over?
on the Podalorian, we're going to have tons of Easter eggs and different things. We're going to talk about the story. So if you like that kind of Star Wars lore and hearing about Easter eggs from previous movies, books, blah, 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 we're going to have it, guys. So, and ladies. That's all I got to say about it.
Well, before we get in trouble, and
non-binary.
And thank you. That way we don't get yelled at. Adam, I didn't want you to yell at us. So it's gonna be a fun time, guys. So make sure to check that out. Like I said, the links will be up there, and we'll post them on the Facebook page and all that kind of good stuff. Gentlemen, this has been a wonderful episode number 22.
Real quick, fun fact.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Adam.
Adam's fun fact.
Adam's fun fact.
Fun fact. Coca-Cola, the beverage, has never been patented because they would have to release the formula.
And the formula has cocaine in it.
Well,
yes.
The original did, for sure.
I'm still
we
pretty
don't
sure.
know if it ever changed.
Listen, if you've seen my mother-in-law drink Coca-Cola, I'm pretty sure that it has cocaine because she's addicted to Coca-Cola. So, no, but I knew the original one did. I know the one that, obviously, if they did that shit now, it would be illegal.
I did read a science article on it a while back, and I think they said there is a cocaine derivative or something like that, or something that is similar to cocaine.
I know the coca leaf. The coca leaf used to be. That's what used to be.
Yeah.
It wasn't cocaine. It was just a coca leaf.
Right. But it still got you a little high.
Yeah.
It was still a little addictive.
Any fun fact? I got a fun fact for y'all. Down in Colombia, there is a cocaine liquor that you can drink. That all you have to do is rub on your gums, and you get super fucking high, or super fucking like ready to roll. You're just hyper. I watched that on the Food Network. For fun fact.
I did learn about the coca leaf being they chew it over there. Yeah, just like that. Yeah.
For hyper, for energy, for its energy.
Yeah, because it doesn't get them necessarily high. It gets them energy, and it's actually got a lot of positive mental benefits too. It's
a natural, so yeah, that makes sense. Mm-hmm. Adam, you got any more fun facts for us, man?
Yeah, when bats leave their cave, they always turn left.
Interesting.
That really is an interesting fact.
That makes sense. I'm thinking of like all these times where I see like these hordes of bats flying out of their cave, and they all turn the same fucking direction.
Yep.
I've only ever seen fruit bats because I'm thinking of like Batman cartoons where I always see the bats fly out, but I always try to think of where they fly to. Now I'm after watching. That's very interesting, Adam. Thank you. Is that your last one?
That's my last one.
Okay, cool. Well, that was Adam's fun facts. I need to start putting that on show notes so I don't forget about it because that's actually I like that little aspect of that. So, guys, this has been episode 22 of the ADHD Gamer. We would like to thank you guys for listening. We will be back next week on the date of November 23rd. Next week, guys, make sure to pay attention to our budget gamer, because next week we will have a lot of Black Friday. I want to do a lot of Black Friday deals inside of Budget Gamer, so I'm going to try to look at that. There's already a bunch out, like we talked a little bit about it last week, so make sure to check those out. But once again, guys, thanks for watching the ADHD Gamer. It's been a wonderful episode. Make sure to check us out on YouTube, ADHD Gamer, or youtube.com. You can find us at ADHD Gamer Podcast, facebook.com/ADHD Gamer, and podcast services all around the world. Check us out, guys, and it's been wonderful. Thank you guys.
Don't forget about Instagram.
Oh, I forgot. We also have an Instagram. ADHD Gamer Podcast. Make sure to check that out also, guys. And we're posting, so everything we post video-wise or audio-wise or whatever, we're posting there as well along with this stuff. So be sure to check that out. All right, guys. Well, Adam, Jonathan, it's been wonderful. I'll see you guys in about 30 seconds. It's been wonderful. ADHD Gamers, peace. We'll see you guys next week.
See you, ADHD Gamers.